My question for just to get us into the topic is, what's
Mhm.
your stance on mental health and like how do you think it's benefiting you from knowing about it?
Well, first, my stance on it is I, for the most part, I think it's subjective. So there's not really like a textbook definition on what mental health is, and it's not going to affect everyone the same way. This is just what I believe, and that there's not going to be the same fix for everyone's mental health issues. So I can kind of tell in this time that we're in, a lot of people don't recognize that. I'm forgetting the tennis player, the girl tennis player. I don't know if you remember hearing the story. She was she was balling, kind of doing her own thing, and then when the pandemic started, I believe that's when she stopped kind of talking to the reporters after matches, and people were like, "What's going on?" And then she came out and was like, "I have mental health issues," and talking to you guys gives her like anxiety and
I know who you talk
you
about
like
too.
yeah she couldn't really do it anymore. And that kind of came out of the blue. And I remember a lot of people were like, she's just throwing it out there as an excuse, or they'll say this generation is weak minded. They need a hand me out. They're all about like taking it easy, getting the participation trophies and everything.
Yeah,
Which I kind of agree with that with this generation, the younger generation. That they are not soft. They're brought up different. Like
yeah. It's more easy.
yeah, yeah. They kind of get things more easy, and that's kind of how the times are. Everything's easy. Like you get access to sex. You get access to sex easy because you got OnlyFans. You can
Right.
get that shit anywhere. You can get drugs anywhere. Everything is you have more access to it. So when it comes to this generation, I tend to agree with that, but then still, it's their own struggle. It's not like they had to pick and choose. Oh, can I grow up hard? Kind of like our older, like the generation before us, they had it hard, and then we had it quote unquote harder than the generation
Yeah.
that's younger than us now. Um, so yeah, that's my stance on that. And then what was your second question? You said
So do you think like you get any type of benefit from being aware of mental health? Because like some people don't even know about mental health, and when it's brought up to them, it's kind of like it doesn't affect me. I don't have no benefit from knowing about it. I could have went my whole life
mhm.
without knowing about it. Mental health is kind of just it's a fake term essentially. So do you think like you benefit from knowing anything about it?
So I definitely do benefit. But I'm gonna pivot real quick. I know,
All right.
like what you just said. It sounds like the black community as a whole. They were like,
Yep.
'cause yeah, I've heard that like my whole life. Like mental health, like you pretty much don't have to worry about your mental health issues, or they just don't acknowledge it. I remember when I asked for a therapist coming out of high school, and it was kind of looked down upon. And I remember I felt embarrassed. It was like one of the few times in my life I felt embarrassed because I don't get embarrassed about much. But I remember I had two concussions in high school, and then this was the only type of mental health conversation we ever had with like Granny and Papa and all them. Um, I remember we were like staring around in the kitchen, and it felt like they were, or not felt like they definitely were talking about my mental, but as if I was like slow or like yeah, like his mind is just where all those hits, and I guess they thought that's what I was asking for a therapist, and I was like no, like I have other things that I've been going through that is not privy to y'all, but I've been going through it like with the either with family, the the hardships of balancing football and school life, like that's taking its effect on me, not what y'all think is going on. And so I remember that being my first kind of introduction into mental health, and it was kind of a negative because that situation has stuck with me since then. Um, about how just like people have viewed me from the outside, and that kind of like took an effect on my mental in a negative way. And then I know I've been telling you how now because probably 10 years ago. So now I actually go out of my way to like find apps that'll help me stay sharp in the mind, or I'm just reading more books just to read because I used to read all the time back before I started playing sports more, and I kind of lost that. So now I'm just doing that to stay on top of it, stay sharp, and
Yep.
also I feel like with mental health, you need some type of stress reliever because having all the mental stress built up and up there is not, it's not good for you. Uh, so yeah, I think that for mental health, with me, it's definitely a good thing, and I found things that help me stay on top of my mental health, keeping it good, not slipping. And everybody, has their slips. They fall off the wagon sometimes. You just gotta stay disciplined. Stay on your whatever regimen you find good for you.
Oh yeah,
But
you
I guess,
so
what was
you
that?
saying what?
I was going to ask you the same question. Like, uh, what about you? What do you feel with your mental health? Is you have good strategies, good things to keep you going when you're down,
Yeah, so
or even if you want to talk about if you're going through like depression or anything like that. Like, what's helps you, you know, keep it pushing